Hi, hello, I'm Brook and this is Linda from Stickmen Media, and today we're actually talking about animating the second walk cycle of King Leon. So the last time we had Linda on, you may have seen King Leon doing his first walk cycle, but he has a second walk cycle where he drags his sword. So
Yeah.
this is after he's been hit essentially. And I believe we've also got a little bit of King Leon fighting.
Yeah, the first attack.
Okay, so alright, his first attack. So, let me just start that thing running on the background. Go back to the beginning. And hit there. And okay, over to you, Linda.
Yeah, the second one is just basic from the first work cycle. I just did some changes from the based on this first working cycle. So just you can see currently I'm just open the first working cycle.
Okay, so give people a bit of background here. So what we've got, so Linda's actually set up our reference video, which was me walking and attacking with a big camera tripod,
Yeah.
which was the only thing in the room we had that sort of fit the size of the sword if I was King Leon's height. He's roughly 6'6", I think. He's quite tall compared to everybody else. Okay, so that's what we've got set up.
Yeah, wait. So sorry. Yeah, we just I'm just need to choose the right time. I'm just looking for the right fade on the front,
Mm-hmm.
and then adjust the I think the timeline.
So essentially you're trying to match up the walking step
Yes.
with the previous walking step, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like for the second one is the time is longer than the first one.
Mhm.
So I just drag some keyframes to the a little bit behind, so it could just roughly match to the video reference.
Okay. And are we going to do the same thing here where we cancel out his movement and then slide him along?
Uh-huh.
Are you using that technique?
No, I just keep it in place.
Okay. Alright, so yes, so you can see me dragging the camera tripod there. And what's this window we're looking at here? This is
It's the I just select all the keys, which means whatever which button is or which controller is, I just select all of them, and then it's easy for deleting the unused for keyframes.
okay. Alright, so he's
Yeah, I just found there's some mistake on the foot, so I go back and check which error is as you can see the like the forefinger, the foot finger. I just found when I delete some keyframes and the finger, the foot finger.
when you say
controller.
foot finger, do you mean toes?
Oh yes. Toes. Yes.
Okay, so there's a bone to actually control his toes there.
Yeah. And it means when I delete some, actually because I select all the keys, so it means I also select the original bones,
Mm-hmm.
the rigged bones keyframe. So that's the error I caused. So I just go back and redo that, but this time I won't delete that part.
Okay. Alright. Just check around. I notice we're having some bandwidth problems, making sure nobody else is streaming while we're streaming. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I should also point out that we are waiting on Margaret. She's promised to be about 5 minutes. About 10 minutes ago? No. No, about 5 minutes ago she promised to be 5 minutes, so she'll actually be joining us shortly. You hold the fort, Linda. Tell them some more about some stuff while I go and see.
Okay.
Anybody actually streaming anything over here?
And I'm just checking all the other extra bones for this character, like the skirt, and make sure I just delete the extra keys I don't need.
Maybe I should hard connect a network. Sorry. We are running wireless, and I think we're having a few bandwidth issues here, so hopefully that's not happening too much at your end.
Yes,
But we should probably plug in an Ethernet cable, I think, to make things a little smoother in future. Yeah, so what were you telling us, Linda? I missed it.
just said also I just adjust the skirt bones keyframes to suit the animation curve.
Yeah, and we saw this the last time when you were doing the first walk cycle, that what you were trying to do was stop those panels of the skirt actually clipping with
Yes.
his leg as he walked.
Yes. Yeah. Also because I just adjust the walking step and adjust the timeline. So, but when I adjust the main bones, actually I didn't touch the skirt joints.
Mhm.
So I just like separate two parts because it's easy for me to do some adjustment for the different part.
Okay. Yeah, so if I remember from last time, there was lots of actually smoothing out the in-between frames
Yeah.
just to make sure that we weren't
Yeah.
slicing through the leg.
Yeah. Last time, the last working cycle, I was set controller for the sword to make sure it could hold by the hand and at the same time it could just attach on the shoulder and don't do the extra movement.
Mhm.
So, but for this time, I just not using that controller and I'm just attach this one current to the hand, so the sword just will follow the hand.
Okay. So we just got told we're not hosting. I hope that's not the case. No, we are streaming. Definitely streaming. So somebody said we aren't online yet. Yeah. I hope that's not worldwide. It's you and me talking to each other about this stuff. I'm pretty sure we're going out. It does say streaming. We have had a few bandwidth issues, but it does say we're streaming.
So what's the problem?
I don't know. I really think, one, we need to make sure we don't use wireless for this, so we probably need to connect Ethernet cable,
Yeah.
just because there's so many wireless things around here that it really chops down the speed.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'd be sort of not having so much packet collision if we were off that. Yeah, and the other thing that's likely to happen,
Coffee.
well,
Highly caffeinated tea.
tea.
Hello,
Tea
did you
now.
miss me?
Yes, we did miss you.
Good.
Yeah. So
Not that I
Jay's
want-
just told us we're not online, but
We are, because I can see me.
so, okay. So you can see us. Are we pausing?
Maybe just some delay.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So working quite nicely. Very good. So there we are.
Oh, yay.
Yes,
Working
working
wasn't
now.
before.
Wasn't before. Okay.
Sweet.
Very
great.
good. Okay, so we are definitely online now.
This is good.
Excellent.
Thank you for feedback.
Oh, well, if anybody missed anything that they consider as important, we will actually, apart from being able to get to the video here, you will be able to see it on YouTube. We'll put that up later this evening.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sorry, Linda, we cut you off there to talk about technical issues.
And me
That's
arriving,
fine.
because it was
Because
so
I'm
important.
still doing the holding the sword part.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes. We get to see some close-ups of his bony arms here.
Yes. For this
You're going to say his
character,
bony ass.
No, we never quite get to see his bony ass. He is
We
wearing...
really don't. Oh, you can kind of see up there at the moment.
But yes, he'll be wearing a skirt, so you won't even see this.
Yep, because I had it.
That's quite disappointing. It's like, what does a Scotsman have under his kilt?
Yes. Oh, yes. I thought it was like a riddle. I was waiting for you to tell us what does a Scotsman have under his kilt. But now I think about it, of course, it's, penis, basically. If you're lucky, underpants.
I keep forgetting you're Australian.
It's not just Australians are aware of penises. Everybody knows something about them.
God. Moving on.
Okay.
It's amazing. You get
But I
really
thought-
scared because I might actually say fuck on Twitch, but no, anything else,
I
fine.
am fine with you saying fuck on Twitch.
You
I
don't
really
like it. You
mind.
don't like you saying fuck on Twitch. You get all like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't.
Well, I am aware that we haven't actually said that this is safe for children or unsafe for children, so maybe we should just set
Unsafe
that.
for children.
Well, parents won't like too much swearing.
Well, then they can
if they're...
not watch it, and it'll be fine.
Actually, I suppose the minimum age for kids on here is 13, and by then they should pretty
Probably know it already. And
know
that
how to
swear jar,
swear.
by the way, was there for a fucking reason, and it was to pay me to swear.
much. Yes. All
So
right.
I need to fucking swear.
Why? Nobody's paid you yet?
I know.
You should
Well,
be-
Clearly, I need to lift my game.
Very good. Sorry, Linda. What are we missing out on?
I've just set another keyframe on the front of the walking cycle, so I could place the hand position
Mm-hmm.
and make sure I did the right pose as the reference to, video, and then I'll go to the animation curve editor window to drag all other keyframes, just make sure all the value go down or up, and make sure the first frame is same as the one before the first frame.
Okay.
That's so difficult. It's just like if I set the working cycle like frame 1 to 30, and then I will set another frame just before 1 means like frame 0, and then I will just go to the animation curve and move them, just like make them to look just same level as the first one.
Okay.
So if the first value is same as the frame 0, and then other animations just follow as the frame 0, just as the video reference pose. That's
Okay.
an easy way to adjust the whole animation curve.
Okay.
Yeah, just it looks like I did the same change for every frame. I hope it can
All right.
make sense.
So for the tip of the sword, at least, one of the things you don't want to do is dragging into the floor and out of the floor as they're actually moving along. So that's one of the things where from one frame to another it has to stay at its particular Y height.
Yes,
So that
and
Y-axis height.
yeah, even I just set the hand just like this position, but still when he is walking, of course, because the hip is up down, so the hand of course will have up down.
Up and down movement. Yeah.
So I just if I just parent the sword to the hand, and then sword will just up down,
Yeah.
because it just will follow to the hand, and the sword didn't have any animation. So I just set another pair of control system. It's like to set another locator, and then constrain
Yeah.
this sword to that locator.
So even though my hand's moving up and down one end of that sword is actually going to stay fairly static.
Yes.
So it'll move left. It'll move forward and back a bit,
yeah.
but it won't actually move up and down and go into the ground and
Yes.
out. Yeah.
So I will just did constraint on the sword tip, and make sure the sword tip just will touch on the ground, so the tip won't do any like height change.
Yeah. Did you see his foot fingers, Margaret?
Say what now?
We were talking about foot fingers before.
Finger. You can understand.
Took a moment for me to realise she was talking about toes.
Well, sure.
Foot fingers.
I have hand toes, so why not?
No, that would be
Why is that
really repulsive.
different?
Wouldn't it be repulsive though?
Toes for fingers.
Yeah, cause those language problem is because Chinese actually they are same thing.
Are they?
Yeah, they're just like.
They are in French too, aren't they? Phalanges.
And
Yeah, but it's different though.
yeah, they just we just eat the hand and the foot on the front of the finger.
So hand finger and foot finger.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the word for finger?
指，手指、脚趾。
So sure.
Is that right?
Yes.
So is that hand finger or foot finger? Which one?
Oh,
So what's hand finger?
手指。
手指
Yeah, 手 means
手
hand.
手指
Yeah,
Shoulder.
yeah.
And foot finger
脚
脚
it means foot, and 指 means finger.
脚
脚趾，手指、
脚趾。
脚趾。
Okay. So there, your
That's
lesson in hand and
cool.
foot fingers for today
Yeah.
in Mandarin.
Oh, and what's the word for zombie? It's such a cool word.
僵尸
Yeah, there's something about that on its own that's really threatening.
The character is very
僵尸
complicated.
Cool. We need to have that
It's
actually. I
easy
want
to
show it
write. Yeah.
Cool. Can we write that sometime on Twitch? I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
for a moment. And
So
go back
I
to the
just
video.
realised that you're actually going to get to do all the localization for China when we decide to release a Chinese version.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, so I can have another job title.
Yeah.
Actually, I've seen that with games before, especially with indie games when they do roll credits and you just get the same names repeated over and over again. So the
Yeah.
guy that did the music also made the coffee,
Yeah, yeah.
did the art direction. You know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm doing the go to every key pose and see and do some small adjustment to make sure the animation closely looks like just like the video.
Might move this a little bit closer to you because you're very quiet.
Oh yes. Sorry about that.
Margaret, you'll have to yell a bit.
Probably not a problem.
Actually, no, you do seem to spike even from there.
Oh yeah.
You carry well, your voice carries well.
I'm loud is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Okay, now we've sorted that. Haven't we seen this video before?
No, this is the drag. So this is the second walk cycle. You missed the introduction here. So this guy's got two walk cycles, one with a sword on his shoulder and one where he actually drags it after he's been hit.
He's in drag.
Yes, so he's in drag mode.
Zombie in drag.
Yeah.
He is wearing a skirt.
There you go.
Not in this image though, because we are working without the skirt at this point. But we will have to bring the skirt back in so that that's adjusted so as not to clip his legs.
Oh, drag zombies. How good would that be?
Zombies and actually, we probably need separate animations for the female ones, don't we? We haven't.
Female one? Actually, female one could totally hold the general zombie animation. I just tried on Unreal and just using the same pair of the general zombies rig, so it looks good
Okay.
actually.
Oh, well, we'll
just-
have to see some female zombies. I think we
Yeah.
should get you to actually put them into the game
Okay.
because you're about ready for that, aren't you? To start.
Yeah, I think.
This is really going to test you. You're going to have to use Unreal.
Yeah. For now, I can just using
Oh.
Unreal to.
Thank you, Thyden. We've got somebody actually following us. So.
It's just the Unreal thing. I just know how to to import those animations and know how to transfer let the different rate to share the same animation.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's pretty exciting, then.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when I learned some part about the what's that mean? Blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is behavioral tree. It's just like what they said. Totally don't understand.
I guess that's a bit of a challenge for you. So behaviour trees, yes, are going to be something new to you,
Yeah.
which programmers are used to dealing with, but you probably
it's
not.
because when I want to learn something about when I go close to the zombies and then they could chase me,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like it have a lot of things. I have no idea why they select this thing and why they just tap other things. They just like those tutorials. They just tap and link those lines to another, but I don't know why.
You should probably have a talk to Ben, because I think one of the things that you're going to have some overlap between you and Ben, but you probably don't need to go too far down the behaviour tree path.
Yeah.
Because Ben will actually be
Yeah.
organising the senses and most of the behaviours and so forth.
I understand. That's why I stopped
Yeah.
learning that part.
But once you actually get into the animations, hopefully you'll find Unreal to be a really exciting thing to learn.
Yes.
How have you found it so far? The bits you've done, has it been scary? Is it
Which one?
what you've done so far with blueprints?
I just I just know the very basic thing, and it is a long time to make me know what the blueprint and the actor and the character things different.
Yeah.
Because they just saying. When I say those words, yes, I understand what the basic meaning,
Yeah.
but actually they are in the Unreal. Actually, they have very more meaning about them. So
They've got a
I've
very
spent
good
some
vocabulary
time-
that's
yes,
very tight.
I
Yeah.
spent some time a bit of time to know what's the difference between them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fortunately, thing is, I finally understand something for the Unreal.
This is good.
Well, that's good.
And yeah,
And perhaps we'll ask some of our friends up the corridor if they would like to come in and have a talk about some of the art tasks that you can do with Blueprint.
That'd be really,
That would be really useful, wouldn't it?
fascinating,
yes.
So, all right. So now, clearly, looking at what's happening here on the background is you've gone to lunch, and your screen's still
Yeah.
recording.
You're out to lunch.
I'm not sure actually. It's like
Making
last
a cup
week
of tea.
things.
Perhaps looking at some reference. All sorts of things can be happening on screen number 2, which we don't.
Yes,
we're not aware
or
of.
maybe I'm just go to YouTube and select some my favorite music.
That's a possibility as well.
How dare you enjoy yourself at work?
But the nice part is these delays are quite short because we've speeded the movie up, so your whole day comes down to 1 hour.
Yes.
This is how fast Linda normally works. I keep saying, these guys are super slick.
Then we would have so much more footage. I wouldn't have to run around chasing it in the morning. There'd be heaps. I wouldn't have to compress it, just grab an hour's worth and put it on.
Yeah, but I
That
have
would be
to
perfect.
say this stop is too long.
Yes, I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know. Maybe I go to play with that puppy.
Maybe so. There's an office
Playing-
puppy
yes.
that is more than attractive.
Yeah, because our building have a very adorable puppy. Every time just can't
Yes.
stop to play with.
Yes.
But every time he just want to bite me.
Yes,
Yeah,
she's
bye.
getting a little bit bitey.
All right, so you're back at work now. So puppy's
Yeah.
been patted.
Tea has been made.
Yes. Happy now.
Music has been selected.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we're good to go.
All ready for part 2. Dragging the sword along the floor.
Yeah.
That sword doesn't look at all like that reference that you supplied with the tripod, I have to say.
No.
It's not that accurate, to be fair.
No,
We need a tripod.
I don't know. The tripod didn't really look stabby enough.
It looks like a triple threat to me.
Just definitely looks slicey and stabby, which I think are the two prerequisites you need in a good sword, and that tripod didn't really have either of them.
Oh,
Did we keep the funny ones, by the way?
Yes,
The
I
pokey
keep
ones?
I keep the video actually.
Okay, we have to do something special with those,
Yeah.
and we'll tell nobody until we can actually show it.
Yeah. And I just finished the main body part, and then I just show the extra bones for the skirt.
Ah, yes. So now we can actually see the skirt needing the legs and being deformed outwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the thigh bone connects with the skirt bone.
Pardon?
Well, the hip bone connects with
Yes,
the skirt bone.
hip.
Do you know that? So it's an English song, Linda. The thigh bone. Was it?
Yeah.
How does it go? The thigh bone connects to the knee bone, and the knee bone connects to the shin bone.
Yes, that's the one.
What fun song!
Yeah,
It is a fun song.
It's quite relevant to what you do.
They made fun of it on The Simpsons with Dr. Nick. I remember where he was saying, you know, the hip or the neck bone's connected to the red thing. The red thing's connected to my wristwatch.
Yeah.
So he's clearly getting entangled in the patient.
Oh.
So doing another bit of smoothing here.
Yes.
So much smoothing.
Yes.
Oh, it seems to be the fundamental task to undertake. So set up a keyframe, smooth in between, and over again.
Yes.
And in this case, our in-between frames we want to make sure are not causing the skirt to clip the leg. That's the primary goal that you can see going on here. You guys, if you've played any 3D video games at all, you've probably seen this a lot, where stuff clips other stuff. You know, characters intersect walls, all sorts of things. But one of the really irritating things is when you see clothing actually clip with the body. It's
a no-no.
For me, it's a no-no. For me, that breaks belief in the thing. So if you don't believe in the character, you're not going to have as much fun in the game. So that clipping thing is just one thing I'm constantly aware of. So I really like to see the care taken here that we don't actually clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now that I've set that up for you, that means if people do find clipping later when they're playing the game, they'll know exactly who to blame. I go, Linda didn't fix that.
Oh, no, that's not nice.
It just make me just remember made me just think about when I work in China, and in that time I was working in the another computer game company, and they are very careful care about the the players' feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they just the feedback just say they like the light effect put on the character, and then some guy may just need us say let us make the light effect bigger or brighter.
Yeah.
And then we for our animation group just like what? Because we just separate animation group, model group, and another one is the effect group.
So you didn't have any control over the end result?
No, they just make the more light effects. They totally just covered our animation. So we just why we still there?
Well, that's also a funny thing to do, really, is somebody says,
rough.
hey, you guys did a really good job on that lighting, so you think, ooh, we'll have to do more lighting.
Yeah.
No, if they like it, you've got
Leave
it
it.
right, just leave it alone. Don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah, that's a very unhappy moment. Just feel us like
It's soul destroying.
Yeah.
yes.
Alright, so there you can see me having a whack at Margaret with the...
Yeah, that's nice.
she was obviously annoying me there.
You're obviously a crap shot, I have to say,
For some
'cause
reason.
you're fucking miles
Oh,
away.
we just lost the.
I didn't have my
last
glasses
moment.
on, so I couldn't quite see where you were.
No, evidently.
Yeah, I think we just
Watch me not ducking.
Yeah.
we just missed the end part of the walking cycle. And now we are just pick the
We're into the
part.
hitting cycle.
Oh, did you want me to go
hitting.
back so you can see the end of the walking cycle? We can go back a
Okay.
bit. Let's go back.
So we get to watch a repeat of you fruitlessly trying to beat the crap out of me after
Yeah, I
this.
think it's this moment.
So the end result.
Yeah.
Yeah, not going to be hidden this time.
Yeah.
Not
So
going to
there
be
we
let
are.
out of existence.
So there we are, running at normal speed, the end result of
Yes,
the walking and
that's
dragging
normal
the sword.
speed.
So well done, Linda.
Actually, I'm still thinking if I still need to adjust the upper body part, make it more like upset, like not like this.
So a little more angrier in his walk or something.
Yeah, probably. But I will leave it after we put it in the Unreal, and if we see the results still need some adjustment, I will do that.
Cool.
Okay.
And we're back to
the
Brooke
heat
wailing
part.
away fruitlessly at me.
Well, you can see
Yeah.
Linda is actually scrubbing through the frames there, so I'm not doing as much action as you think. But yes, so there's a swing and an overhanded hit, and there's one complex one, isn't there, where there's a
Well, there's no
swing
hitting.
that swings around and comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you're just doing the first one today, just I think on this.
Yes.
You're not doing all of them. You're just doing.
The first.
Oh, bless. So this time you actually gave Linda the front-facing footage as well.
Yes, we did.
That was nice.
Yeah,
It does make her life easier.
I've learnt my lesson.
Oh,
Well, the thing that surprises me is Linda, after asking me for it twice, bless her, just went ahead and tried to do it without the footage rather than annoying or disturbing me a third time. And it was so my fault. I felt really bad about it. That she had to try and manage this whole thing without the front reference.
it was so your fault to the extent that you felt the need to make it mine.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I still think you should take partial blame for not reminding me.
Meh.
All right. So yes, so there's a sweep and then there's overhead.
So what are you doing at this point, Linda? You're setting up.
And pick, because we did some repeat the animation part, so I just picked
Pick the bits
one
you like.
I like it.
Cool. on a sort of timeline.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And do we get to see you synchronise with sound today, which was
Because I just matched all the time and set in the first time when I do the working. So this time I don't need to match the time again. I just need to pick one clip and
right. So it's already matched up.
yes.
Right. So you just have to pick.
Bless you.
Thank you. Crikey.
So in fact, we don't need to do this every time we do the clapper. Every time we film a bit, we only need to do that once at the beginning for you to actually sequence it.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, because we have the front video, just we shoot from the beginning to the end. But for my side view, I just I should just shoot them as a one footage, but I separate them, so it's so hard for me to make sure all of them to find the right time. So I learned something. Maybe next time I should just when I shoot the action reference, I should just add the that camera and just click one time, and then end time just click the end.
Okay.
So it's easy to find.
Yeah, that
The
makes
time.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. And for this one, because the attack is very fast movement for
Especially
the
at the-
hand part.
Yep.
So I've just found it's hard to check the right pose for the hand part, because you have no idea how the hand is twitching.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also because the motion have some burn, so it is. It's for me. It's for some part. Oh, I can't find where it is.
And
Right,
you
no,
can
I
see
can
here,
understand
just
that.
looking at things, if you're trying to follow the point of that sword, for example,
Yeah.
that was actually completely blurred by the amount of movement going into it.
Yes.
So, ideally, if we're a very wealthy studio, we would have high-speed cameras running at front and back for capturing this.
Yeah, and I found it's not quite good to wear dark shirt.
Don't wear a dark shirt. Okay. So this is why we should be wearing the lime green spandex. So the next time Margaret does a zombie walk for it.
Yeah.
So
Something we don't need to see.
for some of the posts, I just feel I got some bloke on the. I have no idea what's the hand is twitching angle. So I just found another short stick, so I can hold and do some pose.
Okay, so you had to do some reference for yourself.
Yeah, I just sit on my seat and just do something like that, and they might just found me my table have a very very good stick on my desk, so he just asked me, why you holding this?
Yeah.
So
It's a good question.
I should tell him just because him.
In
Yes,
case he needs a good whacking at some point. Yeah.
he does ask for it.
Your mat whacking stick. So.
Wow.
Okay. So this is really interesting to watch because, as you can see before we start there's a lot of movement happening in the shoulders, from the shoulders downwards.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of travel and a lot of movement. Actually,
Yeah,
in
and to
that.
get the that feeling of power and momentum as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
And I'm not necessarily going to be able to convey it all as the actor in this, because my tripod is actually light and Leon's sword is damn heavy. So it's hard for me to convey the full weight of the thing.
I think it was okay because the tripod was long.
Yeah, I guess unwieldy sort of makes up for a bit of
Yeah.
that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And because really and truly, how many people of King Leon's stature are going to... that's a fucking heavy sword.
Yeah.
So it would have been impossible for most people anyway.
True.
Unrealistic, so...
Yeah. For those like heavy weapons, the very key point is when you do the like hit or attack animation, it's normally to just hold the weapon just when you prepare to do the hit, and the prepare time is longer than the light weapon because it's
yeah.
heavy, so you need to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And when the sword is come down, so because the sword is heavy, so from the high point to the lower one, it will just follow very quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. So timing has to be really
Yeah.
carefully thought through.
Yes, that's why after I just follow the video, then I just hide the video and make some time changing.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
make 2 or 3 more like frames before he raised the sword, and then just I cut some parts for the sword drop moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're putting more gravity into this than I was actually able to convey as an actor.
Yeah, but not much because even the sword is very heavy, but because the King Leon is a boss, so apparently he has some very powerful
Yeah.
stress.
Even though his muscles have completely disappeared and he's got nothing but bony arms.
Still have some
Yeah.
very very powerful thing in his body.
Yeah,
Some
which is what we're
force.
trying to convey. Really trying to convey that as a king he was a powerful thing, and
Yeah.
therefore his zombie, his dead spirit, is or his dead persona is going to carry with it that idea of power. Somebody said, are we using 3D Max? So I2 Blue 3. Yes, Linda is using...
No, it's Maya. It's not 3ds.
Oh, sorry, yes, it's not 3D Max, it's Maya.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it's the 3D software.
Yeah. Sorry, not 3D Max, it's Maya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even they are different software, but I think the workflow still have same same kind of like same feeling. When I work in China, I did using 3ds Max, and it's kind of painful when I move from Maya to 3ds Max, and then from the 3ds Max move back to Maya. Yeah, always like that. Even sometimes I need to like using Maya and then go to blend or even the brush, because they are not same hotkey. So sometimes I always get trouble on the hotkey.
Yeah, the hotkeys are
Yeah.
tricky, aren't they?
Yes.
Can you configure your own in Maya? Can you set up the hotkeys the way you want them so you can have them consistent between the
Yes,
two?
I can. But if you want to like somebody or like Sergey want to help me for some part, so it's also painful if you change your hotkey and the other ones have no idea what you
Yeah.
did to your
Yeah.
computer.
True.
Still,
So-
Sergi does that anyway. Sergi has his...
And
has
Sergey
his
have
mouse
the
mapped
have
the other way around.
left hand.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
God.
got a left-handed mouse, so
Yes.
it's really frustrating trying to use his machine one way or another. Yeah.
So this is where you're trying to set up the hands.
Yes.
This tricky bit of setting up.
Yeah, for the
Oh, look,
human-
he's stuck his sword through his own hand there.
for the
Yeah.
human
Painful.
key is a painful is I cannot just directly parental control like constraints another hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it spent me like 1 hour to find how can I constrain it to follow the sword, because
Yeah.
they both had need to follow the sword. So I just parent the sword to the right hand, yes. And then I was thinking about how can I make the right hand also follow the sword. So far I just found I could only just create an empty group and then make sure the group is go to the that controller, the left hand controller's group, and parent.
So you're talking about the right and the left hand being in the
Yes.
same
Yes,
controller
and
rather than...
yes, and I put the left hand controller to that empty group, and set the parent constraint to that hand controller group. So, but I still cannot move that hand. So I'm thinking about I will just finish the animation part first,
Mhm.
and then I will bake the animation to the left hand. Yes, I was
Okay.
thinking, which hand is? And then we'll do some adjustments just for the left hand part.
Now here, there's a lot of lessons to be learned here about modelling and animation. It's when you get to this stage that you can realise that you've set up an animation that you can't do. And there was two things I actually saw happen with Linda here. Is one, you've almost got to dislocate that arm from the socket to get him to move his hand back far enough,
Yeah.
because in modelling we couldn't take that into account. We didn't really know what the animation was going to look like. And the other thing is doing the overhead swing. When he tries to do the overhead swing, is of course the horns on his helmet
Yes.
are basically in the way of your hands coming down. So that's that's
Yeah.
something we learnt.
If the normal human, I think he can do that thing because Brook did it. But because he
Brook
had,
wasn't wearing a horned helmet.
yeah,
Brook
he
had a
had
whole
that
bunch more
one,
bones and
so
joints.
and also had the heavy
Yeah.
helmet armor for the shoulder.
Yeah.
So it's hard to lift the hand
So
freely.
there is something to be said for actually dressing up to do these shots, isn't there? So
Yeah.
I probably should have been wearing something.
It's like he's getting ready for baseball.
I probably should have been wearing something similar to that armour, just so that we could see what the constraints were that should have been on me when I was actually filming this. And I should have been wearing.
Better, so wing. Better.
Okay, New Zealand viewers probably don't even get that, but that's.
Oh, who hasn't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Man.
Oh, 3D Max crashes a lot.
Which one?
Thank you. IT Blue 3.
Also for the Maya.
Yeah.
Yeah, always you need to remember to auto save.
Save.
Save a lot. Yeah, I don't think it's just 3DS either. It's Maya as well.
Yeah.
You get crashes from time to time.
That's what she just said.
Oh, okay.
Leader, you were tuned in?
Yeah. I was just watching a leg being straightened, actually.
And strike.
Okay, so
There's
getting
another,
the body into position to strike now. Yeah.
There's another funny thing is what happened when I was working in China. There was a day when everyone just feel like the Friday is also Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Just feel like so hardly. So some of us we just chatting to each other, and then suddenly the electrical have something crashed. So all the computers shut down. And everybody just said, "Oh no, my work." And we just said,
Everybody chatting and not saving.
yeah, no saving.
Oh,
But actually,
shit.
they just lie. We just lie. We just
Oh, I see. So that was the excuse for not having got the work done.
yes.
Oh, excellent. Sent somebody
Awesome.
out to the fuse box, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's very fun.
Hmm.
Just on the right time.
I can see how close you are to the power board over there, you know.
Now I know why you wanted to sit there.
Now once again you can see, you know, when you're trying to match up that sword there, my reference sword is actually quite blurred because of the speed I'm doing the strike.
And yet you're missing. Time and time again. I'm miles away.
I wasn't actually trying to hit you, I was trying to do it in front of you.
It's all very impressive, but I don't even look like I'm twitching.
And another thing is when you drop your sword, actually you are not on the middle, you are a little bit another side. You cannot hit your enemy.
Yeah, okay, that's a problem. So poor aim.
Not so much a boss, huh? Too far away, off to the side.
Well, we'll clean it up in post. That's what's happening here. So Linda's clearing up all those mistakes for us.
That's good. Alright. A lot of wiggling around there.
Yeah. I think we were scrubbing. Oh, and there's our controllers. Okay, we've just had dead air for a second there. Everybody went quiet at once.
Say something.
Margaret, you're
Fuck's
supposed to fill that in with copious swearing.
Fuck, shit, bugger. Bumbles,
No, it's too late now. I'm talking. You have to use it when
You
things
don't
go
get
quiet.
to deploy me when it suits you.
That's the point of the
No.
swearing. Just throw it in there.
I just
It makes
did.
us sound like an exciting Twitch stream, even when nothing's happening.
So that I'm just create your sword pose.
Ah, right. Okay. It's actually one of the things to be aware of all the time, I guess, is which hand is in front of the other. Because I know when I dragged the sword from the ground upwards, I actually had to change hands. Because
I think
for
that's,
dragging the sword, I had my hand in a particular place, but for actually swinging it,
yeah.
I actually had to change it from underhand to overhand.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what made it hard for Linda.
That's why I need to create between animation, just like to link the working or or the idle animation or
Yeah.
the attack animation.
Yeah, there will be, because I think what I had to do was let go of the sword.
Yeah.
Or I was holding it that way, let go of the sword and grab it that way,
Yeah.
and then pick it up again. So
If I didn't do that thing, when we blend the two animation, and you will find your sword is got to another side.
Missed again. Oh fuck!
I hadn't
missed.
appreciated just how
Oh,
far
missed. Oh, fuck it. Stabby. Boy, stab. No, she's over there somewhere.
I think you were just managing to stand in front of the camera, so that's why it looks like I'm going for you. But I'm not going for you.
Managing.
Yes, well, you were doing the clapping and all the rest of it to actually start off each scene.
Fuck it, missed again. And I'm like,
I
come on.
Need to put my glasses
Come
on.
on.
All right. Oops, I've got some more comments there.
How could I go into game development?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So definitely do one of the courses, one of the media school courses from ARA or UBI.
Well, if you're from Christchurch.
Yeah, but similar courses all over the place. What's that one that they keep advertising on the start of our Twitch stream? The one if you're in the US. But yeah, so there's many of these schools that actually teach
Some
you.
technology school.
Yeah.
Art school.
3D modelling and animation, and essentially other media studies, or other media types. Essentially, I would start doing this stuff, even if you're not in school. I would actually try and learn outside of school, and I often suggest this to kids in high school, especially if you're really into game development. Why not download a copy of Blender? It's free 3D modelling software. Download a copy of Unity, which you can have for free if you're just working, doing your own stuff.
But even Maya, it still have the student version.
Okay, Maya still has a student version. That's probably even better because then you'd be sort of matching up with what much of the industry has.
Yeah, but Blend is quite small, so.
Blender is small and easy to deploy, which I quite appreciate
Blender
as well.
is very good.
Yeah. And yeah, so get together, find a friend that's a programmer or a friend that's an artist, and basically come together and start putting games together. Have some fun. Do some stuff.
I took game art and design in 10th. I've got Blender, but on Ubuntu for a Chromebook.
On Ubuntu for a Chromebook. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. Nothing wrong with that. There's certainly Linux guys here that actually like working in Linux.
So what would you suggest as a next step? Brooklyn?
Sorry, I'm just trying to
Chromebooks
read
suck.
that. Chromebooks suck. Yes, Chromebooks definitely lightweight for doing heavy processing. We actually have fairly hefty machines in here with at least 16 gigs of memory, preferably more, and at least 1060 GTX 1060 cards in them, with plenty of disk space. Once you've actually got through school, or even before you finish school, ask about interning at games companies. So find your local games companies, send in your CV for interning.
Make sure you've got something to offer though.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult for a games company to find a reason for you to be there unless you've actually got something to offer. So you need to be able to do something useful. You need to be able to show that you can do something useful, because otherwise there's not much point in being there to make people copy.
Show reel's really important. The first thing I look at when somebody approaches me is their show reel. So if you've done some stuff, make sure you've got a show reel, keep it up to date.
And if you're interning, it doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to be something that's worth looking at, that has potential.
Yeah, it shows your proficiency. The other important thing is any game dev meetups that are actually happening around your area. Go along to those, get your face out there, get known. Ask questions of the people in games. We're all pretty friendly. You can ask us questions.
Well, not all of us.
Not, but me, I'm friendly. So basically, go to those meetups, go to those jams, get involved in things where you will run across people from game studios. That makes it a lot easier when you actually come through the door and say, "Hey, I want to intern for you," or when you've finished your school and you say, "Hey, I want to work for you." If we know your face, we've seen your show reel, then that's a pretty, pretty easy way for us to actually assess and offer you, either offer you a position or offer you direction.
What are you making right now?
So right now, this game that you're looking at right now is After the Light. It's a zombie survival horror game. The premiere version will be in virtual reality, but so for Vive and Oculus, but it will just be a standard screen version as well. And yeah, so you've got 60 levels of zombies to sort of cut a swathe through. This is an end level boss called King Leon that Linda's currently doing the animation for. Cool. Nice to see.
Oh, there's me with a gun to my head. That's lovely. Okay.
I turned around and there was nobody there, and that really freaked me. I thought, how can there be nobody there? But of course, we're watching something that was 5 minutes ago. That was very sneaky.
Right, where are we at now with this? Where are you at, Linda?
Did you say swear are you at?
I could have. Where the fuck are you at? That would have been swear are you at.
After we just give some like animation key pose, and then checking the animation curve to make sure they are smoothly.
So at this point, while we've been talking, you've got the keyframes sorted out for that swing?
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Actually, for the attack, that's have too many key poses need to do. Just have like prepare pose, and then when you raise the sword, then the sword is come down. So just have several key pose, and the main thing is you need to adjust the animation curve, and also the hand, because the hand is do a very big movement than just walking. So you need to not just change the hand part, also your of course human like if you drag your hand control, also the forearm and the arm will follow as well, but also you need to focus on the shoulder part. You need to do some change when your hand is like raise your hand, and then you have to move your arm, your shoulder raise a little bit as well.
And our shoulders, of course, are very complicated because we're wearing pauldrons.
Yes.
This guy's wearing pauldrons on his shoulders, so two lots, in fact. I think he's got metal over leather happening there, and all that stuff's got to move along with the arm.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff to keep an eye on, a lot of stuff to make sure that things aren't clipping. So quite the task. Well, that was a very pointy thing that you've just put a curve on. That is a massive sword. I'm really looking forward to actually seeing this guy in front of me, when you're in VR.
Yeah, I think we can view it in Unreal next week.
Next week? Oh, that will be exciting.
Yes.
Exciting times.
Yeah, actually today I could finish the attack. So next week I need to aid the between animation to fill the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that long will be a trick.
You're talking about the gap now between the walk cycle where it's dragging the sword and the attack
so
cycle.
smart.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see them all together.
I saw the first person character in there today. So he was standing in a T-pose behind me. Turned around, I got a bit of a shock. There was this headless guy standing right behind me. But no, it's exciting to see the first person character coming in. So the next time we actually do a play demo on here, you should be actually able to look down and see your own body in the VR thing. And of course, you won't be able to see it when you're playing just on a screen, which is a shame. You'll only see your arms out in front of you. But in VR, at least, it'll be really cool to be able to look down and see your whole body and your weapons on your hips and all that sort of stuff. Everybody should be getting into VR. Don't wait.
This, of course, is not just
Well,
for VR.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking about to
Just
buy
to be clear.
a VR set, but we have no enough room.
What would you have? Would you have a Vive or an Oculus?
Nothing.
Because Oculus is, I think it's easy to accommodate because the little lighthouse is something that mounts on your desk rather than a big thing.
Yeah,
That,
but when I wear that pair, I just feel uncomfortable.
really?
Mm.
Okay, so Oculus doesn't quite work for you.
Yeah.
What about the Vive? How
Oh,
does that
there he
work
is,
for you?
cutting
Yeah.
and cutting and whacking and whacking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
giving a
Cool.
good whack. Yeah.
We
So this
should
is real
put
time,
a
isn't it?
Vegetable.
So this is the real time, which means it is 2 o'clock. We have in fact come to the end.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, he should give
awesome
a bow
timing.
now.
Look at him.
Yeah,
Boom!
smash.
Fire in the wall.
Give it heaps, Leon.
Keeps missing that. Oh, there he got the cursor.
Very good.
And again. Bang!
It does look like he's chasing it, doesn't
It
it?
does, yeah. Oh,
No, no.
fuck
I
that.
don't even know where that went now.
Over your shoulder, dude.
All right, well, thank you for tuning into today's stream. So, Brooke and Margaret and Linda. Linda's
Thank you
been
for
showing
questions,
us.
comments.
Yes, thank you for questions and comments.
Thank you.
So, Linda's been showing us the second walk cycle and the first attack cycle of King Leon, one of our boss zombies. We won't be here tomorrow or Sunday, of course. We're only here on weekdays, but
New Zealand time.
1 p.m. New Zealand time on Monday, which will be Sunday for various places in the US. We'll be back again and we'll be showing something. I've learned not to try and plan these things now, so just say that we're going to be here. So we'll catch you all next week, 1 o'clock New Zealand time on Monday. So bye for now.